I guess if they had been in there from day one and they didn't get more frivolous based on the evidence, unless he's just going to say frivolous because you can't go after them because of the well-recognized qualified immunity.
In my opinion, being in the trenches, what happened was remember you said when a judge says, do you want a lawyer? The light should have gone off, and they should have. On May 22nd, when he said, or 23rd, when he said, you want a lawyer? I think what happened was he picked up the phone to Cooper, who he's used before. And I think what happened was he said, shit, these guys got us by the balls. Remember, Bill Galvin is known as a prince of darkness in Massachusetts. He's been in there for 40 years. He knows everyone. And I can't, there could be a movie made on this, but the bottom line is this. The way he behaved, the change of, emotions here was quite clear. Let's just put this guy back on Twitter, right? And that's it. Let's just get him off and let Twitter can deplatform him later again. And we can say the state didn't do it. Mm-hmm. That was, I think, what the strategy was. But to me, when I found all this stuff, it's no longer about getting back on Twitter. It's this entire backdoor portal. It's the entire government censorship infrastructure. And these people were part of it. I have all the evidence. I also want to let people know that we invite everyone to come to an orientation. Every Thursdays at 11 a.m. and 8 p.m., I host an open house. Lots of great people show up. You have a lot of chance to meet people from all over the world. Every Thursdays, we do a open house. Anyone's invited. You can just RSVP at vashiva.com/orientation. We have people all over the world come in and we discuss how we actually build a movement to end the nonsense that's going on. If you think, oh my God, the world's going to hell, I'm so confused, you'll get very inspired at seeing there's a lot of people who are coming to our movement for truth, freedom, and health. Please join us there. You should go read my RICO predicates. I've had other people read it. They go, wow, you can overcome, you can make a good shot. And any lawyer worth their salt would have at least fought for it. Not just said, oh, no, I don't want to do it. So that's what happened. And what you're seeing now is everything I discovered then, 2 years later, what happens? On October 28th, if we go back to this site, by the way, I want to just walk people through, if I can, David, this site here. David, are you there?
Go. Yeah, I'm here. I think your internet's getting glitchy.
Oh, it is? Hold on.
Yeah, it's
okay.
unless
I don't
think it's okay. Yeah, I can see you now. I don't think it's on my end.
So what I've added, so if people go to winbackfreedom.com, the first part of it, you can go click on the first link and it'll take you to all the lawsuit. Every brief is here, David. Just want to guide people, okay? All the lawsuit, the long fuse report, all the playbooks, everything's up here. Every brief that I filed in federal courts here, David. You see that?
Hold on, I'll bring it up. Let me get the window. Oh, no, you got to go present.
Oh, I thought I did present. Sorry.
No, I think I may have removed it from the stream.
Okay, sorry. So let me present again here. So let me share here.
All right. I see.
So
yeah, there you go. Okay.
Okay. So when people go to winbackfreedom.com, you'll find out that the first link here, David, says link to Dr. Shiva's lawsuit, and this will take you to all the briefs. So everything's up here. We've been fully transparent. Okay. All the final brief, everything's up here. The other thing that we also did was more recently, I decided to go after the government itself, and I wanted it, the goal is to take it out of Massachusetts, right? Because I don't trust any of the judges here. And this is a lawsuit we just started. There's a video here against CISA and DHS, because these are the guys who created this domestic censorship infrastructure. And then more recently, I also added this section, which is about the Intercept and DHS leaks. Do you remember this, David? About October, early November, big breaking news, DHS leaks. You remember that?
I'm trying to think of, no, I don't remember that offhand.
Okay. So these two Intercept guys says, oh my God, we discovered this backdoor portal. Okay. The DHS is involved. Well, Intercept claims they're this investigative news organization. The problem is, if you look at Pierre Omidyar, he's the one who funded the Intercept, but he's also funded this infrastructure. It's all in black and white. He's funded the Center for Internet Security. So here's Pierre Omidyar. He funded this Center for Internet Security. And one of the things we wanted to show people was so the Intercept drops this article on October 30th. On October 29th, Musk announced the sale of Twitter. Okay. I'm not on Twitter still up until that point, David. Remember, I've been deplatformed until very recently, until December. And I said, Elon Musk has not put Dr. Shiva on Twitter. I said, the infrastructure still exists, right? To silence speech. And I tell them about this. The day after this, suddenly the Intercept drops the story, but they leave out a critical part of their story that Omidyar, who's a funder and funder of their company, is the one who funded the Center for Internet Security, which is the one who does the laundering of censorship. You can look at the infrastructure. The JIRA stuff that woman showed comes out of here. So the other thing I pointed out here, and I want people to walk through, is because I want people to have recognized that when they did this, I was wondering what is it that they were doing, because they didn't release the whole story. They wanted to make people feel, oh my God, isn't it amazing? The Intercept is breaking the news. And I said, this is so fucked up, because we had exposed the entire truth about the entire censorship infrastructure. They only released just one little piece of our diagram, David. And what I learned was there's a process that the intelligence community community uses called the limited hangout. So they conceal and delay the story, which is what they did. Then they plagiarize it, misattribute it, they hijack it, they put out a little piece of it, and then it gets amplified. Half-truths by proxies who conceal the truth. And you can see this. This is an intelligence agency technique. All right. So in our case, after we did this, the Intercept puts out their story, and you can read about what a limited hangout is. It came out during the Nixon administration. The Nixon administration knew that they were going to get nailed on Watergate, so they did a manicured version of the story to, manipulate people. Now,
it's amazing because you have different terms for it than I did. But when I was describing how the Canadian media and the Canadian government was responding to the convoy, and at first it was outright denial, and then it was admitting that a convoy existed, but redirected to the convoy that wasn't the main convoy, something in British Columbia, a local convoy.
Right.
Then demonizing, then admitting after having demonized. So you got all the same steps, to some extent.
It's this process. So I had, from a system standpoint, as an engineer, I was very curious about this because I was thinking, holy shit, right? This is exactly what they did. And they want to attribute as though the Intercept is some great organization doing investigative journalism. Now, the other piece of this is what I haven't shared, and I want to talk more, is independent of with everything that's happened, we created a global movement called Truth, Freedom, and Health. We trained people on systems processes, on science, on engineering, all of this. But we kept going, David. You see this? We did video after video after video after video. So we got this out to close to 200 million people when I counted all the views. And this is a problem that Tucker Carlson and all these conservative grifters have, because we got our story freaking out there and people started having respect for us independent of these, right? So the real journalists like myself were deplatformed and called conspiracy theorists, while the Intercept and their colleagues who proliferate half-truths are called investigative journalists. It's so this is, if you look at Pierre Omidyar, the guy's everywhere. Okay. And this is not me. This is done by one of the other organizations.
It's a beautiful diagram. It looks like a living organism, a cell.
Yes. But the ACLU, who my attorney was on the board of, knew about this. They did nothing. But when the Intercept story starts, boom, they amplify it. Okay. They put it out everywhere. Okay. Oh my God, this is horrible. Okay. Glenn Green, Tucker Carlson, here's my email to him on October 20th. Here's my email to him on October 30th. Here's my email to him on May 14th. Okay. All of these Tucker got, and he did nothing. Same with Green. And by the way, when he interviewed 2 years later, Lee Fang at the Intercept, look what he says. He goes, this seems like a really important story, which is for some reason being ignored. Are you fucking serious? You ignored the story, Tucker.
Well, here, I'll give Tucker the benefit of the doubt and presume, he may have been in touch with you, but maybe it slipped under the radar. And to people out there who I know are saying, Dr. Shiva, this is all you want is the credit, and that's what you're angry about. Now I'm sort of understanding, because that was sort of one of my initial reflexes as well.
We should talk about credit, because let's talk about credit, okay? Because it's a very important discussion to talk about credit. When I ask for credit, oh my God, you want credit, but Tucker Carlson show, Glenn Greenwald, every Hollywood person gets credit. Why is it people don't ask when other people take and steal people's credit and they're in the limelight? Why is it people have a problem giving credit to the person who actually did it? Let me tell you why credit matters. And the invention of email, I could have gotten credit back in it's a very important story, because we're brought up to be humble Indians, okay? Credit matters, and there are a whole class of people who fight tooth and fucking nail for credit. The Academy Awards, right? The Grammys. Are you fucking serious? Go talk to a lawyer as an entertainment lawyer. No, my client's name's got to come first. He's got to come first. That's where, all the shit. So people need to stop being naive. Yes, I am going to fight for rightful credit. Why does credit matter? Because it shows the origin of where truth and hard work emerges. The invention of email took place bottoms up in a small medical college by a hardworking immigrant kid, not by the military industrial complex, and credit must be given there.